Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Knicks Versus. I'm here with my man Woodshed 1914 in the building. Brothers, salute, salute, salute. It's a pleasure to be on the screen with you. I tell the people that's viewing now, that's going to view it later on, you can be anywhere else in the world, but guess what? You're here with us right now. You know what I'm saying? And you about to get this good dialogue that we're about to chop it up with. You know what I'm saying? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not had the pleasure to be in the presence of a Woodshed, you've been missing out. You've been missing out. I'm telling you. Wood, say hello to your fans, my brother. Let the people know what
Blorange Tears family, Nick Nation. It's good to be here. Good to chop it up with my man G-Man. Hey, we're going to have some good time, man, going on. Hey, spicier than Thai rice. That's how we like it. We want the conversation to be spicier than Thai rice, but rooted in fact. Feel free to disagree in the comments. Feel free to hit me at that @ symbol right down here on Twitter. We can go back and forth. I love the debate, but I'll never argue.
No doubt. And you know, and Wood just brought up a good point. So I have been negligent in getting my Twitter page out there and doing what I need to do. So you know, I'm gonna have to step my Twitter game up, Wood. So I'm gonna be hitting you up on the backside, you know, to get those tips on, you know, what I need to do to be Twitter relevant. Because my daughter, I'm telling you, she just graduated. She's 18 years old. She's like, Dad, you got a Twitter page, but you don't do that with it. What are you doing? What are you doing? And she look, well, I'm telling you right now, she just got me on TikTok, bro. Oh my goodness.
What?
Oh, but look, look. What? I'm telling you, an hour goes by. I'm on my cell phone, and the only reason I know the hour went by because my battery light coming on saying, "Plug your phone now. It's about to die."
Plug it out. Yeah. Hey, both my daughters on TikTok. I'm not on that, man.
Look, if you can stay away from it, stay away from it, my brother. I'm telling you, because it's addictive. I don't care what you've been to. If it's on TikTok, whatever it is, it's on TikTok. And right now I'm on this thing to where, you know, you watch people that didn't know either their friends or their kids could sing or their parents could sing. And then when they start bellowing them notes, and they can sing. I ain't talking, they can sing. You know what I'm saying? Not sing, they can sing. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Hey, but we gonna go ahead and jump into this Knicks content, brother. So the first thing that's out there that's been marinating in the waves, whether it be you know, the lack of mainstream media attention or the majority from Knicks attention, is OJ Barrett. What's your thoughts on that?
So I'll be honest, and I'm gonna answer that with a defiant yes. I'm gonna answer with a defiant yes, but I'm answering that from the viewpoint of a Knicks fan, right?
Right.
We have this veil of protection around RJ, to where we wouldn't trade him. Like, and I say we because even to a certain extent, I'm including that group. Right. Where even if it was a super duper star,
you want to hold on to
we
RJ.
Would say, hey man, hey, I gotta hold on to RJ. You know what I'm saying? I think we're all guilty of that to an extent.
Let me interrupt you for 2 seconds, right? So you say, so let me ask you this. If it was a trade involved, regardless of who it is, so let's just throw a name out there. And I'm not gonna throw a name out there. We could plug the name in later on. But if there's a trade involved and you have to give up or RJ Barrett or Julius Randle, who's first?
Oh man, that's tough.
I don't throw up softball.
Damn, that's tough. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If I had to choose, if I'm making a trade right now, and I'm trading a player to get a player, and I have to give up either RJ or Julius, I'm probably gonna give up RJ. I'm probably gonna give up RJ first before Julius.
I agree.
Because and reason being is that I've seen a lot from RJ, but I've seen enough from Julius to know that the productivity isn't a fluke. And then if he keep playing with his head the way that he has been, then those all-stars and all NBAs, that's going to be continuous. So, you know, it's no guarantee that young RJ is going to be that level of player yet.
I agree. And so let me preface this for all the Knicks fans that's about to be on Woodshead's page. Be like, oh, you are RJ
Oh, yeah,
hater.
they gonna kill
You
me.
are RJ out of
They
New
gonna
York.
kill me.
So that was not the purpose of the question, right? So what I like to do is I like to be realistic about, when people call you on your phone and say, this is what I'm offering you, but this is what I want, right? So no one is going to offer you a Dame, a Cat, or a Simmons. Not saying that we won't enter these players on the team, but when you get that level of talent, people are going to call you. They're going to want something for something. You cannot take a 1974 Chevy Impala to the Mercedes dealership and think you're going to get a 2022 fresh off the line.
Nah,
You're
nah,
not going to do that.
nah.
That's irresponsible, and you are pretty much irrelevant, and people are going to laugh you off the lot, right off the bat. So you have to bring something that's credible with what the deal is. But do you think that? And we talked about overrated. So in my estimation, I believe that RJ has been overlooked. Because I'm gonna start there. He has been overlooked by mainstream media, right? I think from a Knicks fan standpoint, we have put RJ Barrett on a pedestal that he has not necessarily, in my eyes, lived up to this point. So when we go into this season, we're saying that, and most streams that I'm in and most conversations that I have, people are asking the question, well, who do you think the next emerging star will be? And people always preface the statement by saying, I hope. And again, my famous saying is, hope is not a strategy. But they always say, I hope RJ elevates his game, right? Well, so do I. I wish that happened, right? But I don't live by the wish creed, right? That's not how I live my life. So, and I agree with from your standpoint is if we got to give up somebody and it's between RJ and Julius, then I'm gonna go with the proven commodity versus someone. And I understand the upside, the possibilities, and this, that, the third, right? But again, using the used car analogy, there's no value there for me, for whatever.
I'm gonna say this about RJ though. You can partially justify it because, and I'll say this, his minutes increased this year. Not only did his minutes increase, but his productivity increased and his efficiency increased. So that points to that has the arrow pointing way up to where I think that he's gonna be even better than I expected him to be coming out. And when I expect him, when he came out of the draft, my idea for him was, okay, in 10 years, I need this kid to be viewed as the greatest shooting guard in Knicks history.
Right.
Now, we don't have a great history of shooting guards, but we've never had that one guy shooting guard. I guess Houston would probably be, if you go back, if you want to include Earl Pearl off the ball, Dick Barnett, you want to talk about those guys, of course. But in the more modern era, we haven't had that staple shooting guard.
Right.
So I think that that's the expectation. But when he shouldered more minutes, and his points went up, field goal percentage went up, 3-point percentage went up, free throw percentage went up, rebounds went up, assists went up. It points to a kid that can be a guy that may never lead the team in all categories, but be the dude they point to and say, okay, that's that dude. I understand that Kimber the leading scorer, but RJ Barrett, that's that dude right there. So I think that he has earned a little bit of it, but to answer the bigger question, yes, I think that he's overrated within our circles. Part of that is because of the outside mainstream. It's flat ignoring this kid. I don't get it. Because if RJ was in Memphis, he would be the next big thing. If RJ was in Toronto, he would be the next big thing. But I think that kind of gives us that mama bear syndrome where we do kind of put him up on the pedestal. That's my baby, and don't nobody, y'all better not move, baby. You know what I mean? So I think the larger answer to the question is yes. RJ Barrett he's overrated by us, not by mainstream media, not by the.
Ask you this: if it was a trade involved, regardless of who it is, so let's just throw a name out there. And I'm not gonna throw a name out there. We could plug the name in later on. But if there's a trade involved and you have to give up or RJ Barrett or Julius Randle, who's first?
Oh man. Oh man, that's tough. Um,
This I don't throw up
damn,
softballs,
that's
but
tough. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If I had to choose, if I'm making a trade right now
Mhm.
and I'm trading a player to get a player, and I have to give up either RJ or Julius, I'm probably
Right.
gonna give up RJ. I'm probably gonna give up RJ first
I
before
got you.
Julius,
I agree. I agree.
because and reason being is that I've seen a lot from RJ, but I've seen enough from Julius to know that the productivity isn't a fluke. And then if he keep playing with his head the way that he has been, then those all stars and all NBAs, that's going to be continuous. So that's it's no guarantee that young RJ is going to be that level of player yet.
I agree. And so let me preface this for all the Knicks fans that's about to be on Woodshed's page. Be like, oh, you're an RJ
Oh yeah, they're
hater.
gonna kill
You
me.
are RJ out of
They're
New
gonna
York.
kill me.
So that was not the purpose of the question, right? So
And they got to go. We got a coach right now that if you would ask Thibodeau, man, look, Tibbs, are you trying to compete within the next 2 or 3 years, or are you trying to compete within the next 4 or 5 years? I think his answer would be, I want to compete.
2 or 3.
I want to compete right away.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, he won't be here for
I think
4
he
or 5.
right away. Ain't
he
no
needs
way.
2 or 3
I
because he's not
I,
going
I
to be here
don't
for
see it.
4 or 5.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Like somebody asked me, it was years, it was months ago, and they asked me. They said the question was, how long would Tom Thibodeau be the head coach? And I said, the max I see is 7 years. I see him being a head coach over there for 7 years. I said, now hopefully it's him winning the championship and riding off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know he's a basketball lifer. I said, but I think that he'll have success here, and then within the next 4 years or so, he's gonna move into the front office, and that'd be your new, you know, what I'm saying, assistant president or something like. He'll
So,
move into
yeah,
the front office somewhere, man, and move on. But he's 63 already. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Let's be real about this thing.
that's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Coaches don't normally coach in the NBA at 70 years old.
No,
Much
that doesn't
traveling.
happen.
It's too much getting on the bus, getting off the bus, getting off the plane. So yeah, I think we'll have Tibbs another 4 years, maybe 5 years. But after that, we gotta have somebody willing to step in. So these next 2 or 3 years are critical.
What he's got going on. But another interesting question that was posed is, do you think it's realistic for the Knicks to have a 45-game winning season this year?
Absolutely, it should be the expectation. But to me, like I can't speak for the seeding, right? Because we can't control who has a stronger schedule, who has
Right,
the tougher opponents at home. We can't control that.
right.
But the bar is that for anything less than 41 wins, which is what they won last year, anything
Right.
less is a major disappointment. So to me, 45, that should be a given. I think that based on the moves they made and the improvement that we should see from an RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Emmanuel quickly,
Mm-hmm.
going from a Bullock to a Fournier, from the improvements we should see. Not get other teams added players, but we should see 45 wins minimum. Like that should be minimum because we're playing 82 games. So
Yeah.
45 wins should be really. I'm gonna say 47 wins.
Okay.
Anything less than 47 wins, I say, is a disappointment on the season. No cap.
So I would say, and I've been on record of saying this before, I see the Knicks having a 50-win season this year, to be honest. Because you're talking about 9 more games than what we had last season. And you added another 10 games to the roster. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't with the roster that we have right now, if everybody stays healthy, everybody's productive, and the scheme falls into place, there is no reason we can't win 9 additional games than what we won last year. I don't need a whole 10-game winning
Yeah.
streak. I don't need none of that. I just need to get to 50 games. That's what I need. That's all. Because what that plays into
Yeah.
at that point is that feeds into the seeding when we start talking about the playoffs. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's feelings out there and whatnot, but on paper, looking at what we have right now, there is no reason to believe that we can't get those 45 wins. I said 50, but there is no reason we should not be at 45. If we are not at 45 wins, then we need to take a look at something other than the roster. Because there's a problem
Something got
other
to
than the
change.
roster. Yes.
Yeah,
A change is going to come.
That's a 45 is a step back, man. It's a step back in my eyes. So, I mean, let's be frank. The Knicks window is right now. And we got young talent on the roster. It's great. And you can and what's lost on Knicks Nation is that we have this idea that young players can only develop if they playing 30 minutes a night and they're not behind veterans. But the same Knicks fan, I want to be like the Spurs. Okay.
Can't have
When
it both
Kawhi
ways.
Leonard came into the league, Kawhi wasn't the number one option. Kawhi wasn't the number two option. He wasn't the 3 or the 4 option. Kawhi Leonard had a role, and he matriculated in a franchise that was used to winning. So, I mean, it isn't not to say Obi's going to be Kawhi, but Obi is gaining more by being a organization than like Kevin Knox was being in the 17-win squad paying 30 minutes a night.
Facts.
But if we win less than 45 games,
we hustling back.
I'm gonna be looking at Tom Thibodeau sideways. I'm gonna be like Tibbs, bro. Like, what happened? Like what happened? The front office had you back. They got you more talent, upgraded the point guard position from poverty to borderline royalty because you got two people's favorite players. Like we got NBA players. Some of them, Derrick Rose, their favorite player. No cap.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose is some people's favorite player. You know, Kemba Walker, some of these dudes' favorite players.
Yes.
Right. They rock the shoes growing up. You know, it's no excuse for us to not win at least 40. I've been saying 47. I'm about to push it to 50 with you because 47 that means we lost 35 ball games. That's almost half.
Yes,
that's almost half. So yeah, based on what we did last year, I would like to see us step and win 50. But I think the key to getting to that 50 win, it comes down to no one other than R.J. Barrett.
I agree.
It comes down to whether or not he can step up and be the star that we, like you say, I know you hate this word, that we hope
he's going to be. Yes.
If he becomes that, the Knicks can challenge for the East because if you're looking at it, you know what you're going to get from Kemba. You know what you're going to get from Rose. You know what you're going to get for Fournier. You know what you're going to get from Randall from a production standpoint. The 5 position, Mitchell Robinson, I don't know. I love his potential, but he just doesn't do enough for me. Like he just doesn't do enough. Like at the end of the day, you average 8 points and 8 rebounds. That ain't enough. No. That we saw that if you give New Orleans the minute, New Orleans can get you 2 blocks, a couple steals, 8 points and 8. I mean, let's just be honest here. He got to step his game. So if he's going to start, Mitchell Robinson got to step up and be a double machine. RJ Barrett got to step up and prove that he can be the second best player on this Knicks team with added talent. Now I don't want to hear, well, RJ would have had better numbers. He would have been better, but he played with Fournier. He played with Kemba. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I'm gonna drop this on you. I went back and looked at the number 3 pick for the last 25 seasons. In that span, you had 13 All-Stars, 2 MVPs, a 6th Man of the Year, and the majority of the rest of the guys were like productive role players. So if you're looking at that, RJ didn't go to a crappy team like the rest of those guys did. If you're looking at his bust rate should be low. Like his star potential should be much higher than his bust rate. So I can't a year of the same for him. I need him to step up. You said you were built for this. I need you to step up and show that you built for this, and that hey, I may not be the leading scorer, I may not lead the team in rebounds, but I'm your dude. I'm your guy. When somebody come in the building, they say, "Oh, damn, I got to deal with RJ Barrett tonight. Right. What am I going to do? I mean, he needs to be that guy. That's why this season comes down to, in my opinion, to him and Mitchell Robinson to a lesser degree. I don't know what you're going to get from the guy. Mitch can't stay healthy, but RJ, if you watch this, you are the key, sir. You the key. You make a break, whether we take the next step or we take a step back.
So
it's on you.
Do you think, as a point of what you just said, do you think R.J. Barrett has that dog in him right now, or do you think that dog mentality is something that he still needs to develop?
I said last week that my current comparison for RJ Barrett is run Artest. Not necessarily stylistically,
Right. I
but
got you.
from what I need him to be for this Knicks team is run Artest. And I've seen it before. You've seen it before in games where, you know, somebody talked to RJ a little rough and he don't back down. He'd be like,
No.
what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He'll post up. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Let me put this stuck in the post real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me put these biceps on him. So I've seen it with Zach LaVine. I've seen him do it with Bradley Beal. I've seen him do it with Devin Booker. I've seen him do it with Kawhi and Paul George.
No doubt.
So I mean, the numbers say RJ Barrett held Kawhi Leonard to 7 for 19 shooting this season.
Man, say that again, because people forget that. Say that again.
Across 2 games, he held Kawhi Leonard to 7 for 19 shooting.
Boy, look. and people
so
will, people will say that, oh, Kawhi may have been hurt or you know, whatever was going on, or they make excuse. Look, everybody can make excuse for anything. You can try to frame your argument any way you want to frame it. But what you just said is facts. That happened. That's not something that you just read about.
So I think the dog is in him. It's there. I just need him not to care. You know what I'm saying? If the opposition likes you, like, so what if people across the league know? People didn't like Run Artest. They didn't really like Run Artest. It's like, damn, got to deal with Run Artest today, man. Got to deal with this meta clown today, man. but that's what I need, and that's what I think this team needs. Like Jimmy Butler was sort of that, but he wasn't that. He wasn't that Run Artest. Like, people respected Jimmy, but people flat out feared Ron, man. And that's what I need him to be.
You know, you said something interesting right there. When I think about the way our team is currently constructed, we don't have that type of character on the team to where when people come and play the Knicks, they're like, damn, I don't want to have to mess with Woodshed tonight. I don't want that problem. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have it.
We don't have that type of player. And I think if and I'm not saying RJ is going to be that guy. It may be somebody that we're not even talking about today, right? But we need that type of dynamic on the team that galvanizes everybody else around him to say, okay, listen, I understand Woodshed is the guy, right? That's the guy. If he ain't got it going on tonight, and maybe G-Man got it going on, so the offense shifts into wherever the hot hand is, still keeping it in the scheme of what we got going on as a basketball team. But we definitely need that personality to say, okay, this is my team. Because Julius Randle could step up right now and say, this is my team. That would be a lie. Because if you ask anybody else, he got most improved player, right? But I'm telling you right now, if RJ Barrett has about, if he can string together 10 good games to where he's getting triple doubles and all that, now it's RJ Barrett's team. So, you know, it goes how it goes. You know what I'm saying?
And that should be the expectation. It should be the expectation. You just saw it play out in Boston. You know what I'm saying? Jason Tatum's on the team with Kyrie, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Morris. And when the playoffs came, it was like they sat back. Like Terry said, okay, you got it, young buck.
Go ahead.
We need that should be the expectation, that he steps up and becomes the best player on the Bears. As good as Randall was last year, there's nobody on the roster that I should say, man, RJ can't overtake him. It's gonna be Randall's team. There's nobody in his way. I don't want to hear fans be, well, I don't know. He may not get the touches because of Evan Fournier. Listen, man. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
It's coming.
I don't want to hear that. But I know it's coming.
It's coming.
If we at the trade deadline and I'm looking up and somebody requests to trade and I'm not seeing what I want to see, Knicks fans, y'all gonna be mad. Y'all gonna be mad at me. Because the trade packages I'm gonna be throwing out there, y'all gonna be mad at me. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all gonna be mad.
I'm telling you right now, it's coming. I can see this thing developing like the storms in the Gulf that start out as tropical storms and they develop into hurricanes. It's coming. I can see it as plain as the nose on my face. But I agree that I think there's an expectation level of what will we consider to be an RJ level elevation. What do we think? Where does he need to go from where he is now, and at the end of the season he's here, and we consider that to be successful? I think that's expectations or managing expectations is going to be important. But to your point, if whatever he does this year does not start moving the needle to say, okay, now the focus is moving from a Julius Randle to an RJ Barrett, if that's not the conversation we're having, then something's wrong. I agree 100% with that.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. I mean, let's be frank. If you look at the last couple, number 3 picks, Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, RJ Barrett,
yep,
and LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, who are we talking about the most, and who are we not talking about at all?
Think about it. Think about those names. Those dudes were the number 3 picks right there together. Yeah. Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum. Not in order, but it was Tatum, Doncic, RJ, and LaMelo.
And everybody gets media time other than everybody gets media time except for RJ. Everybody but RJ.
They're not even talking about it. And he took it personal, man. And I'm glad he took it personal because the expectation for RJ is greatness. That's the expectation. Yeah. Because if you're looking at it, people expect Doncic to be great. He already is. Yeah. Hey, they expect him to be great. They expect LaMelo to be great. I don't expect anything less from RJ Barrett, man. I don't expect anything less. So we have to see it like this year.
No doubt. I agree 100%. Okay, so the next topic that we're going to cover real quick is should Knicks fans be excited about having a big season this year? And we kind of covered that when we talked about how many wins we expect for us to have. But what do you think from an expectational standpoint of what kind of season we're going to have?
I'm going to say the same thing that I said 3 years ago, when we were going through that. It was after that 16 to 75 season, and I fell low. And then the draft lottery hit. We watching the draft lottery, and I'm looking at the final 4 teams, and they go to commercial break. And I'm saying, okay, you got Lakers, Grizzlies, Pelicans, and Knicks. These other teams got less than a 5% chance to get the number 1 pick. I'm like, it's Zion time. And this is no slight to RJ. And when they put the Lakers at 4, I'm like, oh, hell, I know we got it. Now I'm looking at the percentages now. Just it's common sense and percentages. Mm-hmm. And when they said New York 3, like that was a low point. Yeah. That was a low point.
Yeah.
And I said, listen, the Knicks are gonna get it right. And when they do, Knicks fans, you better not be humble. Facts. All these writers on Twitter and all these bloggers and these magazines and newspapers, all the ones that's been trashing it, you need to let them hear it for 82 games. So they should be excited, rowdy, and borderline arrogant. Let everybody hear it and let them know that the Knicks are coming to your town to beat the hell out of your team. And that's just the way it's. We're going to lock you up and we're going to get buckets on you. So they should be very excited about a big season. I think the expectation, I'm setting the bar. I'm going to go ahead and go 50 with you. I think we should be setting the bar at 50 wins. And if we go under 50 wins, we got to start looking around like, okay, well, let's analyze this thing and break down what happened. Did somebody not take the lead we expected them to make? Did Thibodeau not adjust accordingly? Did Randall go back to being Randall from LA? You know what I'm saying? Or first with the Knicks? Like, what happened? So I'm with you. I'm jumping on board with the 50 wins. Knicks fans, y'all should be rowdy excited and let everybody hear it. We've been hearing trash talk for too long about how bad we are, how much we stink, how nobody wants to play here. Let them hear it.
I agree 180% with what you just said, for sure. So, I think that the expectation was set last season because what we accomplished last season, nobody saw that coming. Nobody. And if anybody says that there was some, now Uncle Freeze will tell you that he called. I think he said 40 wins, so he was 1 win off.
Yeah, he said it was 40 something.
It was 40 something. So he was right on par with where the season ended up being. But for the most part, most people would look at the roster and be like, if they gave me 35 wins, it would have been a problem. You'd be scratching your head like you on some dog food right now, because that don't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
But the fact that they were able to do that and we were able to overcome that hump, it kind of elevates, the expectations for this year. That's why I go to 50, because if you were able to take the squad that we had last year to 41 wins and a 4th seed in the playoffs, and then you add a Kemba, you add a Fournier, and you got a Mitch coming back that's supposed to be healthy. So what? Come on now. I mean,
you know Howard Beck. I think he used to write for one of the New York magazines, but he's always been seen as a Knick hater. And he made a comment one time about Monty Williams being the coach of the year. And I'm gonna tell you what I did to shut him down. Now Thibodeau, the 4th seed, he literally had the lowest payroll in the NBA.
Facts.
The lowest payroll.
Facts. That's a fact.
I'm not gonna say least talent because I don't want to be disrespectful.
Right.
But he had the lowest payroll in the entire league. He had the least amount of money invested into the talent on his roster.
Facts.
In the whole NBA, and made the 4th seed.
Yep.
So now we giving him the talent, we're gonna shock some teams. And I'm saying, like, we should at least be 4th seed again, and we should be able to knock off. Like, I'm not scared of anybody in the East. That includes Milwaukee. I'm not scared of anybody in the East. We should be a threat to take out all them teams. And I don't think that Thibodeau requires the best talent in the league. I don't think he requires that. So I'm with you. I'm on board. 50 and 32 is the number I got in my mind. If you look at the start of the schedule, we should come out the gate hot. We should come out the gate really hot.
Out of the gate, I think the worst that we do is 8-2. That's the worst.
Yep.
The absolute worst.
Yep. Looking at the schedule, we should come out the gate like super hot, hot, and that's gonna set the tone and send a message to the rest of the NBA. We won 41 games last year. Now we aiming at 61. If we fall short of 61, we right there in the wheelhouse. So I'm with you, man. I'm officially updating. I'm not saying 47 and 35 no more. I'm on board. I'm saying 50 and 32. That's expectations. Knicks fans better get excited, get rowdy, and do not be humble. When we win games, talk your trash.
That's it.
When we lose games, don't still talk your trash.
Speak your truth. Truth to power. I mean, that's what we got to do.
I'm on board, man. You got me excited, man. You got me excited now.
Hey,
you got me excited. We got October the 5th. We got the Pacers in the preseason. I'm gonna be.
Boy, I'm ready.
Be ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
I wish tomorrow was October the 5th, to be honest.
Speaking of tomorrow, my God.
No.
My God.
So Wood, you already know. We both diehard New York Giants fans. We are G-men for life for sure.
Oh man,
brother, listen. Tell me, what do you think?
Oh man,
what do you believe? And I know this is supposed to be Knicks talk, but hey, we Giants fans, brother, and I need somebody to vent to. You know what I'm saying? So tell me, what do you think? Give me one key to what would be the Giants' key to winning this game tomorrow against the Falcons.
I think key to this is going to come down to the best on the offensive side of the ball, and that's Saquon Barkley. What can you get his team? You've been cleared medically.
Mm-hmm.
They said you're healthy enough to play. You're healthy enough to perform without restrictions. You practicing, taking hits. Dude, it's time for you to step up and know that, hey, I'm one of the top running backs and playmakers in the NFL. Y'all forgot about me, but I'm back. So he the key to it. Tomorrow's game, I need at least 125 total yards from Saquon, whether that's receiving, whether that's rushing. I need him to give me at least 2 tubs because it's time. It's time. We can't depend on dimes back there, man. Throw the ball 35 times
No.
and win a football game. We don't have the playmakers in place for that to be successful. So we need Saquon to step up or step out. If you ain't ready to carry the load, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Step up. I know I'm clear to play. I don't quite feel like I'm ready to take on the full shoulder load. So let me play in these certain spots. You know what I'm saying? But I think the Lamar's game is because when we step on the field with the Falcons, not a single player on that entire field is more talented than Saquon Barkley. And that needs to show.
Agreed. I agree again. We must be kindred spirits because, I agree with you on a lot of stuff that you're talking about right here, right? So I would say if Saquon Barkley does not have at least 80 yards rushing tomorrow, we lose the game. Because if he does not, that means we then become a one-dimensional football team. Right?
Team. Yep.
So and that's easy to defend. You can take the sorriest team. If I know you one-dimensional, we're gonna look like superstars.
There's nothing better for a bad defense than a one-dimensional offense.
Exactly.
That's what they want to see. So Saquon, come on, bro.
Hey,
come on, bro.
Saquon, I know your agent's gonna watch this right here, or whoever your boys are, because you got some people on your team that's Knicks fans. I already know that, so they be checking out this Knicks content. So what I need for them to come and tell you is this: we need your A game. Don't be afraid. So this is what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to have one of those McCaffrey type injuries where you go out there, you do it too much, and you injure yourself again. That's not what I want to see. But I want you to play within the confines of what your skill set is. But I need that productivity. I need you to keep the defense honest, Saquon. You know what I'm saying? Give Daniel Jones that little crutch that he needs and be able to do those dink and dunks or whatever it is he needs to do, and give him that confidence to throw the ball down the field to a Shepard. Or if a Galladay can find some separation, hint, hint.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? Hint, hint.
Oh, God.
Then that could get him the ball, too.
Listen, if Saquon gets it together, the Giants' offense can be a nightmare to defend because you got a quarterback and a running back in the backfield that both can go for 80 yards.
Yeah, and they proved
that's a problem.
Yes.
That's a problem. So the only thing you need from there is for the offensive line and a receiving core to be competent. They ain't even got to be great. Because as a defensive coordinator, you're saying, okay, I got a quarterback and a running back that can go for 80 yards if I don't watch them. I can't contain both of them without bringing an extra guy down. So Galladay, you got one-on-one, baby. Sterling Shepard, you got one-on-one. And can we play the first round pick that we traded down to draft?
Oh,
can we do that?
God.
Can we do that?
Say that again.
We traded down to this guy. Can we play him? Can we play him? Can we see him play?
Oh, my goodness. Look, what's common sense to some is Chinese arithmetic to somebody else, brother. I'm going to tell you right now.
Not so common, man.
It's not so common. It's not so common. So, brother, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, but go ahead and tell the people how they can get in contact with you and give them your social media outlets so they can continue to enjoy this great Woodshed content.
So you can find me on Twitter. On Twitter, the ad is right down here, right down there at Woodshed 1914. Like I said, we'll date, but I'm not going to argue. I'm not here to change minds. I'm just here to make you think, right? So bring the facts to the table, argue all you want to. We can debate all day long. You can hit the comments. You can hit me on Twitter. We'll be here all day long. I take my phone frequently, often. Pleasure talking to you guys. G-Man, I salute you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we must be kindred spirits because a lot of common sense and logic is linear, man. It's linear. So
For sure. Hey, brother, it was a pleasure, an absolute pleasure chopping up with you tonight on Knicks Versus. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is supposed to be Knicks Versus, but when people agree, we agree. I mean, when people make sense, we make sense. You know what I'm saying? But, I can't miss this opportunity to plug my little thing that I got going on as well. So, I'm one half of the pod couple that we got going on Blorange Network every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't got nothing better to do, then stop through. Hit that like and subscribe as soon as you come in the building. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And even if you got something to do, what I'm going to need for you to do is plan around that. Restructure some things so you don't miss that great content. You know what I'm saying? So, again, Woodshed, my brother, it's a pleasure. I hope this is not the last time we on panel together, get to chop it up, because I tell you, brother, it was an absolute pleasure. Cornerstone Cab might have something to be worried about, because I like this vibe we got going on right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, listen, if they drop out of 0-3, we gonna have to do something, man. Giants therapy session or something.
So I agree 100%.
I can't, man. Hey, man, best of luck to the G-Man tomorrow, man.
No doubt, my brother. No doubt. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, again, you could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here enjoying this great Knicks/Giant content that we got going on tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to need you to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when this Knicks Versus goes live. You don't want to miss this type of stuff right here. And we're doing this for free. Imagine that. Most places you got to pay for this. You got to pay a subscription rate, but you get this for free. All we ask you to do is like and subscribe. You know.